Hi, everybody. Welcome to week one of class. This week, we are going to be focusing on the colonial era. Now, one of the things I want to just sort of prelude all this with is, first and foremost, if you have not yet watched the introduction video that I have created for you, it's in course information. Please watch that first, as it's going to digest and explain some of the methods that I've used to try to create this class. But again, generally speaking, we are taking an 18-week course and condensing it down into about 4.5 weeks. And so this week you're going to get sort of a feel for that, because we're going to be focusing on the years about 1607 through about 1776. Now, I've cut quite a bit of material out in order to make this more manageable, but we are going to be trying to cover the highlights, okay? So this week there is some reading that you need to do. Now, I have gotten for you the concise edition of the textbook, and where possible, I'm not making you read the entire chapter. So please make sure that when you access the week one folder, the first thing you look at, in addition to this video, is the reading assignment, so you can get an idea of what I am expecting you to read. But within each week, and you're going to see this week that this will sort of show you how it's going to look. There will be lectures that you'll have to listen to, and there's videos that you're going to have to listen to. And I've done my best to try to explain to you when and how and where you should be listening or watching these things, so that you can hopefully be done by Friday is the objective, so that you can get the assignments done. So this week we're going to be looking at like the settlement of Jamestown. There's a film on the Puritans and the Pilgrims. And it's important that we understand the distinction between these two groups of people. Of course, the film's going to talk about this, but broadly speaking, Pilgrims and Puritans were both Protestant Christians that came out of England, but Puritans were people who believed that they could purify the English church. And there's an entire history that goes along with this, but essentially there had been wars of religion in England, and the Church of England, which at one point had been incredibly Catholic, by the time the 1600s roll around, the church is a blend of Catholicism and Protestantism. And Puritans didn't think that the church had gone far enough in its Protestant beliefs, but they thought that the church could be purified. And so when they come over to the Americas in 1630, they establish Massachusetts Bay, or what they referred to as a city upon a hill, a type of colony that would exemplify the types of religion that they wanted. Pilgrims, on the other hand, and they actually came earlier, they came in 1620, these were people that were known as separatists, and they just didn't think that the Church of England could be purified at all, and so they wanted to separate from the church and create a society based upon their notions of the Bible. But we're going to be talking about them this week. There's a film on them. We'll be looking briefly at the Salem witch trials, and so lots of content to look at this week. Again, as a reminder, my slideshows, my PowerPoints are voice narrated, so please view them as a slideshow so that you hear me speaking. And then this week you have a couple assignments that are due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. There's 3 discussion board questions that you'll need to answer, and you'll have access to those questions all week. And then on Friday, starting Friday, you will have access to 2 quizzes. And I've clearly laid out for you how many questions are on each quiz, but you'll have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to complete those quizzes. And like the discussion boards, those quizzes will be due by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. So that's essentially what we're going to be doing this week. This week will give you an idea of how each week will flow with films and various lectures. And for those of you who are really good at organizing yourselves and self-pacing yourselves, by all means, feel free to flow through this information as you would like. But for those of you who want more structure, if you go to course information, I have provided you a week-by-week sort of outline of how you could get through this information by Friday so that you can then have the weekend to take care of the assignments. So if that's something you'd like to use, by all means, do that. Otherwise, that's pretty much all I have for you this week, other than, again, to remind you to look at the syllabus, look at the introduction video, and this week by, let's call it Friday, I will provide up to 5 points extra credit for students who provide a summary through the email. Just send me an email, a summary of the introduction video and my syllabus, so that I know that you know what's going on. So with that, that's all I have for you. So Go in peace, be warm and filled. May the force be with you, and live long and prosper. Have a good one, guys.